So here are two new batteries by Renogy, and I'm really happy to see Renogy coming out with a mini. This is the Renogy Deep Cycle Lithium Ion Phosphate Mini Core, part of the Core series of batteries, and these both have the self-heating. So height-wise, 8¼ inches by 9 inches wide and about 5½ deep. So they are a mini battery, but they're still 100 amp hours, 12.8 volt, and 1,280 watt hours in each battery. The heating system is self-heating. These, unfortunately, are not Bluetooth batteries. You can do 4 parallel or 4 in series, 5,000 cycles to 80% of discharge depth, 100 amp hour discharge maximum current, up to 300 amps for 10 seconds on discharge current. So they have a 100 amp BMS in them, 21.38 pounds or 9.7 kilograms each. And they actually sent me two, and I thought, if you put these two together, like you're going to put these in a camper, that's 200 amp hours of batteries sitting right there. They both have these nice carrying handles, just over 21 pounds each. So combined, the width would be about 10 7/8. That's not much bigger than a Group 31, but this is 200 amp hours, which I think is just really cool. So I'm going to wire these together in parallel. I'm going to charge them and test them all together. And theoretically, that would give me 200 amps of discharge current. Still a 12 volt, but it'd be a 200 amp hour 12 volt battery. So let me get these wired up, get them charged, and then we'll get them set up, and I'll do a capacity test, both batteries together, and we're looking for a minimum of 200 amp hours. While I'm charging these Renogy minis, I just thought I'd show this to you. This is something I've been doing recently, and I don't have any fuses on this setup. They're on order, but I've got the Rego system set up here in my workshop. This is 60 amp MPPT solar charge controller. I did a video on this several years ago. Combiner box, and that's a 400 amp hour heated Renogy 12 volt battery, and I'm using that to charge these with that DC to DC charger. So I'm just coming out of these two terminals up here into the charger, and then from the charger into the battery, and I've got these wired in parallel, so positive to positive, negative to negative. I've got one lead of the charger on that battery on negative, and the other lead on this battery on the positive. So it's just an effective way to charge when you're parallel. It's all 12 volts, but that's a 40 amp DC to DC charger, and we'll look at this incoming line here, and we're charging at 40.7 amps. But when you parallel or you split that, it should be half between the two batteries. That's pretty close, 19.7 amps. So even though it's 40 amps, it's going 20 amps into one battery and 20 amps into the other. And the same thing applies when you're discharging. If you're pulling 100 amps out of these paralleled batteries, set up the way I've got them wired here, you'll be pulling 50 amps out of this one and 50 amps out of that one. And that big 400 amp hour Renogy battery is being charged by solar outside in my yard. So all the power I'm using to charge these batteries is all coming off solar panels from the power of the sun. So I'm not charging them with my electrical grid, which is kind of cool. All right, here's our setup on the discharge capacity test for these Renogy mini core batteries, 100 amp hours wired in parallel. Let's get a voltage. They just came off the charger. 14.2 volts, and we're connected to a 2,000 watt inverter. I'm going to set up this light kit that I have for a discharge. We'll try to get as close to a 40 amp discharge that I can. So I've got the meter zeroed out. It's showing 14.1 volts. So let's go ahead, we'll get started. Let me turn on the inverter, and then we'll plug the light kit in here. So there we are, 42.8 amps, 570 watts. While I'm doing this discharge, I just wanted to show you, like I did with the charge, when you've got two batteries in parallel, it cuts the load per battery in half. So this is the line that goes to the inverter, the negative going to the inverter. So it's going to show the total load on the battery as a unit. So we've got 44.7 coming out of the batteries combined. but each individual battery is only responsible for half of that. So 21.4 coming out of each battery. So that's a benefit of doubling them up. And these will have 100 amp BMS in each one of these batteries. So by itself, it could discharge continuously 100 amps. But combined in parallel, now you can pull from this bank 200 amps continuously. So that's kind of a cool little fact about paralleling batteries. 202 amp hours at the moment, 2,580 watt hours. Both batteries have met their advertised capacity of 100 amp hours or 1,280 watt hours. We're currently still at 11 volts on the batteries, so we've got some more energy left in there, but I don't see any point in going any farther than where we're at right here. So we'll stop the test and we'll move on to the next thing. So I want to look at this self-heating function because this is a big feature of this mini core battery. In the manual it says you need a steady current greater than 10 amps to the battery bank, and that's per battery. So if you had 4, you need 40 amps. If you've got a single battery, it'll be a minimum of 10 amps for this function to operate. And it will start optimal performance once the battery temperature drops below 41 degrees Fahrenheit or 5 degrees Celsius. And then it'll stop operating automatically once the battery temperature raises above 50 degrees Fahrenheit or 10 degrees Celsius. So I've had the 2 batteries in this IceCo 12 volt refrigerator overnight, 2 degrees below 0 Celsius and about 30 degrees Fahrenheit. It's not advertised as a Bluetooth battery, so it doesn't have a Bluetooth to connect to the Renogy Home app, but they do have a JBD BMS in the battery, and I was able to connect to that. So this is the app that you're going to need, and I was able to connect to both batteries through the app. We've got 53%. And you can control the on-off on the charge and the discharge through this particular app. And you can see we're pretty well balanced. And then down there toward the bottom half of the page, the MOSFET's temperatures. So you've got on the left -1 degrees Celsius and 30.2 degrees Fahrenheit. So what I want to do is connect it to a charger that puts out about 23 or 25 amps. I just want to see if the heater works. And during the time when it's heating the battery up to 50 degrees, if it's going to indicate that there's any charge or current in the center of the page there going into the battery. Okay, I've got one of the core batteries on the bench, and you can see on the app there on the left, this one is currently sitting at 30.7 degrees Fahrenheit or -0.7 degrees Celsius. Both charge and discharge are on, and no current in the center of the app screen there. No current going into the battery. So I'm going to connect my charger and we'll see what happens with this battery. It says if it's below, I think it was 40 degrees, the self-heating function should kick in. So let's go ahead and we'll connect it to this 25 amp charger. And we'll watch the screen for the app. All right, it's charging. We're 16 amps of current going into the battery, and it should not be charging. Okay, it just stopped charging, and the protection warning has come up. Charge under temperature protection. And it's turned off the charge MOSFET. So good. And I want to just check and see, well, I'll time this. It's about 5 minutes to 9 at the moment. The temperature is increasing already. Well, 1.5 degrees of temperature increase over the last minute or so. So even though the charger is on, it's not putting current into the battery cells and destroying them. So let's look at this charge cable and see what we're getting for amperage while the heaters are on. This one's showing 7.3 amps, and all it's doing is operating the heating pads. There's a heating pad on the top and a heating pad on the bottom of the cells. And we're up to almost 33 degrees now Fahrenheit. So I'm going to leave this connected. If I can set this up so you can see it. Now we're up to 8.1 amps for the heating pads. Supposedly when we reach 50 degrees Fahrenheit, if it works as advertised, the heater should turn off and the normal charging function should begin. It's been just about 5 minutes and it's actually charging the battery. The battery temperature is showing 42 degrees. So once it reaches 41 degrees, it looks like the BMS lets the charge go into the battery. You can see we're charging at about 16.4 amps out of the 24 amps or so that's going into the battery. So the heaters are still on, and then it says at 50 degrees it should go back to normal function to where the heaters will automatically turn off. This is the negative just because I have it twisted the wrong way, but it's actually positive. It's going into the battery. Okay, we're getting awful close. We're at 48 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's taken about 12 minutes total time to get from 30 degrees Fahrenheit up to 48. It didn't allow any charge to go into the battery until we hit about 41 degrees Fahrenheit. And if you look at the center of the screen on the app there, 16.44 amps. So the heaters are still on. All right, there's 50 degrees. So once it goes above 50, watch that current in the center of the app. There we go. So as soon as it hit 50.2 degrees Fahrenheit, we now have 22.06 amps going into the battery. But you see the protection is off. It's charging the battery. So 13 minutes for the battery to warm up to the point where it can take a full charge and the heaters turn off. Pretty cool feature, and it's all happens automatically. You don't have to do anything. So there's a look at the new Renogy Deep Cycle Lithium Iron Phosphate Battery Mini Core Series with self-heating function. I did test both batteries with that same heat procedure, and they both performed exactly the same. So if you're looking for a battery that's going to save you space, weight, as well as be able to use it in a cold environment, this battery you can just install and you don't have to think about anything anymore. It'll take care of itself in a cold environment without self-heating function. I'll leave links for the battery and any coupon codes that Renogy gives me in the description of this video if you want to find out more information or potentially pick one up for yourself. And on the screen now is a video that YouTube thinks you'll enjoy. If you click on that video, I'll meet you over there.